These are 10 games that take realism to the next level. Bodycam. As the name suggests, this is a tactical shooter entirely viewed through the lens of a body camera, and it takes hyperrealism to a whole new level. Developed by Sad Studio, a tiny French team of just 2 brothers, Bodycam recreates playable maps from real-life forests, abandoned buildings, and gritty urban streets using a technique called photogrammetry. This allows them to scan real locations and digitally rebuild them as stunning, lifelike 3D environments inside Unreal Engine 5. The developers deliberately add Bodycam-style distortions and subtle blurring that make you constantly question whether you're looking at a game or actual footage. Gameplay here is slow, tense, and immersive. There's no HUD, no crosshair. Every flicker of light or sound could reveal your position. Something as simple as turning on your flashlight or using proximity chat to speak to teammates can give you away. Every shadow feels like a threat. I'm not exaggerating when I say this game has given me more than one mini heart attack. When it launched in June 2024, Bodycam sold over 800,000 copies in just its first month, topping Steam charts and making headlines for its unprecedented visual realism. Love it or hate it, one thing's for sure, Bodycam delivers one of the most intense and visually convincing FPS experiences you can find today. Even in its base form, Cyberpunk 2077 is a visual masterpiece, but with the right enhancements, Night City reaches a level of photorealism that can leave you questioning what's real and what's not. The first time I saw these vehicles, I genuinely thought I was watching real-life footage. Their bodywork gleams convincingly under natural daylight, with reflections shifting realistically as you move around them. The way light bounces off the paint feels authentic, and you can almost sense the texture of the metal. Driving through the city becomes a showcase of technical artistry. Glass panes mirror the skyline, rain-slick streets shimmer under passing lights, and shadows stretch and bend exactly as they would in the real world. The result is a cinematic, almost tactile experience where every frame feels like it could have been shot with a camera. Initially plagued by bugs and performance issues, the game could have faded into obscurity. Both the developers and an incredibly passionate modding community have worked tirelessly to transform it into something extraordinary. Regular updates and patches have steadily improved stability and graphics, while modders have pushed the boundaries of visual fidelity, creating photorealistic enhancements that breathe new life into Night City. Cyberpunk 2077's ongoing evolution proves that, given the right tools and community support, anything is possible. When it comes to graphical realism, Alan Wake 2 is one of the most impressive examples we've seen in recent years. The game pushes the boundaries of visual fidelity with its incredible lighting system, detailed environments, and lifelike character models. Every shadow, every reflection, and every beam of light feels carefully crafted to immerse you in its dark, atmospheric world. All these small visual details contribute to the tension and psychological horror that define the game. It's not just about looking realistic. It's about creating a mood that keeps you on edge at all times. In a way, Alan Wake 2 is a showcase of how far video game graphics have come. This level of visual design not only makes the world believable, but also amplifies the emotional weight of the story, making it one of the most visually stunning and atmospheric games to date. The Invincible is a completely different type of experience compared to most modern horror or sci-fi titles. It's slow-paced, almost meditative at times, but that's exactly what makes it so gripping. Most of the time you're not fighting or sprinting, you're simply walking through the alien landscapes, taking in the breathtaking views while slowly piecing together the mystery of what's going on in this cursed place. What really stands out is the attention to detail. The game's retro-futuristic aesthetic is brought to life with incredibly realistic graphics that make every environment feel tangible. This level of detail, combined with stellar sound design, creates a world that feels real. The coherence of the world is another of its strengths. Nothing feels out of place. The retro-futuristic technology, the environmental storytelling, and the narrative all blend seamlessly. There are no gaps in logic that break the immersion. Instead, everything works together to maintain the tension and keep you engaged. It's not a game for everyone. Players looking for fast-paced action or constant thrills may find it too quiet. But if you're willing to embrace its rhythm, the Invincible rewards you with an experience unlike anything else in the genre, unsettling, beautiful, and unforgettable. Microsoft Flight Simulator is, without exaggeration, one of the most impressive and realistic experiences in the entire world of video games. We're talking about a simulator that took the concept of realism to a level almost impossible to imagine, an entire planet recreated with breathtaking detail. Thanks to satellite mapping technology and Bing Maps photogrammetry, you can literally take off from any airport and fly over any corner of the globe you wish to explore. What's truly astonishing is not just the scale, but the fidelity with which everything is represented. Dynamic clouds, shifting light depending on the time of day, real-time storms, and even reflections on the water are all crafted with meticulous precision. The first time you find yourself flying through a thunderstorm or landing at an airport surrounded by mountains, the immersion is so strong that for a moment you forget you're sitting in front of a simulator. In the end, it's more than just a game, it's a window to the world, an experience that combines technology, art, and realism in a way that very few titles in history have ever achieved. Dead Island 2 is one of those games that leaves you with mixed feelings. On one hand, it's hard not to feel that it didn't quite live up to the legacy and impact of the original Dead Island, which was groundbreaking at its time and set very high expectations for the sequel. However, the graphics are absolutely stunning, with some of the most realistic environments you'll see in a zombie game. The interiors of the houses, for example, are so meticulously detailed that they almost feel lived in, from the way light enters through the windows to the clutter on a kitchen counter. The level of detail is impressive not just indoors, but across the entire city. Streets are filled with atmosphere, the architecture feels authentic, and the visual fidelity is so sharp that it's easy to get immersed despite the repetitive combat and straightforward mission design. It might not be the revolutionary sequel that many fans had hoped for, but visually, Dead Island 2 is a real achievement. Hell Let Loose, it's one of the most realistic depictions of the battlefield you can experience in gaming. Matches throw 100 players into massive, authentic maps based on real locations, where every inch of terrain can be the difference between life and death. But the real immersion comes from how the game handles combat. There's no kill streaks, 1 or 2 bullets are enough to take you down. You can't just sprint across an open field like in most shooters. You need to think about cover, positioning, and teamwork. Even the sound design plays a huge role. The thunder of artillery, the crack of distant rifles, and the shouts of your squad feel chaotic and terrifying, just like you'd imagine in a real battlefield. It's a level of realism that forces you to play differently, and that's what makes Hell Let Loose stand out. Far Cry 5 was launched in 2018, and its graphics still look incredible for a 7-year-old game. The forests are dense and detailed, with sunlight piercing through the trees in a way that makes every step through nature visually striking. The rivers and lakes reflect the environment beautifully, creating moments where you just stop to take in the scenery. Exploring Montana's wilderness is a constant reminder of how much effort went into crafting this world, from the smallest cabin in the woods to the wide-open landscape. Even after all these years, Far Cry 5 remains one of the most visually stunning open-world experiences. The open-world design encourages exploration at your own pace. You can drive along winding back roads, hike into secluded valleys, or take a small plane to get a bird's-eye view of the sprawling countryside. For me, Far Cry 5 is one of my favorite entries in the series, combining immersive environments and a narrative that keeps you engaged from start to finish. The Callistro Protocol is a third-person action and horror game that builds on the foundation laid by Dead Space. While the game shares many thematic and environmental similarities with Dead Space, in terms of gameplay it feels closer to The Last of Us, with a strong focus on melee combat and careful inventory management. Guns are present, but they serve more as a complement than the primary tool for survival, and there are no cover mechanics, which adds a raw, tense edge to every encounter. Visually, the Callistro Protocol delivers some truly stunning moments. The developers have created a world that constantly surprises you, from the eerie corridors of the prison to the hauntingly detailed exterior environments. While there are occasional signs of its cross-generational development, the overall visual fidelity is impressive, producing a level of immersion that makes you genuinely feel as if you're part of the game world. Shadows, lighting, and environmental effects work together seamlessly to reinforce the horror and tension, making even simple exploration feel intense. In summary, while the Callistro Protocol draws inspiration from past horror classics, it establishes its own identity through gameplay and visual storytelling. Its combination of atmosphere, realism, and polished mechanics makes it a standout title for fans of the genre. Many of you might remember the buzz earlier in 2023 when the trailer for a certain video game caused quite a stir for its hyper-realistic visuals, so much so that some viewers even questioned whether it was actual gameplay footage. That game is Unrecord, and beyond the initial controversy, it presents a very intriguing concept that has captured the attention of both myself and many fans of shooters. In this title, it's easy to mistake the images for real-life footage, especially when watching the trailer on a smaller screen, like a mobile device, or for eyes not accustomed to the look of video games. While the initial demo gave a glimpse of the game, Unrecord is more of a tactical shooter than a fast-paced action title. Combat isn't necessarily the main focus. Instead, narrative and investigation play central roles. Players will engage with complex moral dilemmas and interact with other characters through dialogue systems that can unfold even during combat. These interactions have meaningful consequences, helping to shape the story and providing critical clues for solving the cases you'll face as a police officer. Unfortunately, we still don't have a release date, but the hype surrounding Unrecord is undeniable, and it will be fascinating to see whether it can live up to the expectations set by its jaw-dropping presentation. If you made it to the end, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more. It really helps the channel. I'll see you in the next video.